Gavin here. Today, we're looking at a different band. This band, I was always told that they suck, they're like gregarious, they're not that great, but I've never really given myself the opportunity to develop my own opinion, so that's what I'm going to do today. The band we're looking at today is Motionless and White. The album we're looking at today is Reincarnate, I believe? Yeah. So let's jump right into this. The first one I'm talking about is my first impression of the album, which is happening in real time. So, lucky for you. Okay, so it's starting off okay. Hold on, folks. My thing's being a little glitchy. Okay. So, the Death March. Okay. So it's starting out very heavy. Holy shit. What am I listening to? Okay, this is something I've never really... Okay, so it's really heavy. But... oh my gosh, this is interesting. So it's almost really catchy, but it's so heavy. I've never really... Okay, got really 9 Inch Nails influenced up in here. Very industrial all of a sudden. Okay. I'm kind of into it. So definitely I feel, we're gonna talk more about this later on in the video, but I'm definitely feeling like we have some OTEP vibes, we have some Marilyn Manson vibes, and a dash of 9 Inch Nails. Just a dash. So we'll talk about that further in the video though, but so far, to conclude my first impression, it's not terrible. It's not as bad as I was expecting. Alright, so the next thing to talk about are the lyrics. The lyrics I chose to look at were Death March. First and foremost, because it's the first song off of the album. So yeah. It starts off Death March, Death March. And that part is really, really heavy. Like, it starts off so heavy that I'm kind of like, I'm almost scared. It's music that would probably get played in like a haunted mansion or like haunted houses or something. Like if I were in House of Torment, I wouldn't be surprised if they played this song because it was just that type of heavy. Like when you go into a House of Torment, like right in the beginning, it's so loud and it's so aggressive that it definitely builds the atmosphere. And I think that kind of makes the experience, honestly, when you go into a House of Torment. So yeah, so it starts off Death March, about 4 times, and then it goes into, this is a new world order, and it's changing the game, so step right up to go down in flames. I want your sons, I want your daughters, all the creatures of the night, so wave your flag if you're ready to fight. Okay, so that's creepy enough. New world order. Down in flames. I want your sons and daughters. All creatures of the night. Jesus. I'm not super into Satanism or anything, or like, you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh god, the devil is so crazy and so different and is so opposition from God that I have to love him. So I really don't relate to these lyrics, honestly. If I was like super, I mean maybe when I was like in my youth, like when I was like 13 or 14, I was kind of like into that. I don't know, I was really dark as a child, but you're not my skin color or anything, just like personally dark. I don't know, I like dark things, so maybe I would have got into them. But I was more into like Breaking Benjamin, Story of the Year, not really the same. Perfect Circle, Breaking Benjamin, more like the same. Bringing insects to their knees, catching them in webs. I've weaved. You were in my dream last night, begging me to take a bite. Ooh. Oh, got a little sexual there. Got a little sexual. Okay. I thought it was gonna be about a wet dream, but I guess not. It's you in my dream. I had a wet dream last night. That would have been a little too sexual, if you ask me. A little too sexual. But I insult the hypocrisy and light your fire with your pain. I insult the hypocrisy. What does that even mean? I get mad at people who are hypocrites and set them on fire with pain. Oh, okay, I get it. I give into the ecstasy. Ooh. Don't do drugs, kids. But the cold dark remains. Cold dark remains. I control my own destiny. I won't suffer in vain. My enemy would not be the end of me. No. Death march. Death march. This is very poetic, by the way. Oh my god. This is the new disorder. What? It's the unsolved case. That is bringing the rage straight to your face. Bow. So set in the crowds. Set in the crowds. Add fuel to the fire. They cut your throat just to preach to the choir. Oh my god. That's incredible. That's amazing. I like that. They cut your throat just to preach. No. It starts up. So set in the crowns, add fuel to the fire. They cut your throat just to preach to the choir. Delicious. That's amazing. All is fair in love and war. That's actually really true, by the way. I'm just talking too much about these lyrics. Oh my god. We're gonna move on. Basically, as far as I can tell, the lyrics are kind of like, I wasn't completely lying when I said they were poetic. They are kind of poetic. And I guess it feels, it has like an undertone of not publicity, politics in it. You know, especially with the line, I insult the hypocrisy, I give into the ecstasy. You know, like, you know, kind of turned off by, you know, the way things are run in the government. But like, you know, by doing that, you know, by living my life and being happy, I'm, you know, saying F you to the government, pretty much, is kind of what I'm taking from this. And, you know, it's kind of like gathering the troops, you know, his fans and everybody to kind of get involved with this new order, quote unquote, of like living your life and being happy. And, you know, saying F you to the government because they can't tell you what to do. And they shouldn't, you know? I mean, we're in a world, like, government is supposed to be like a component to our rights, and I think sometimes that people in power get carried away with such power. Alright, so the next thing I'm talking about are the band similarities. So as I was saying, I heard OTEP, I was hearing Marilyn Manson, and then I was hearing like a little bit of 9 Inch Nails. And there's another band that's peeking in, but I can't really make it out. Oh! Rob Zombie. That's who else they remind me of. It's like a mix between like OTEP, Rob Zombie, just a dash of 9 Inch Nails, not completely. I'm not saying that they're hugely influenced, but I definitely hear some industrial peeking through, and then definitely Rob Zombie. Like if Rob Zombie was really, really heavy, that's kind of the vibes that you would get when you listen to Motionless and White. And this is probably why most people that I hung out with didn't really have like I feel like their Motionless and White is a distinguished taste when it comes to music, because not a lot of people like, first of all, not a lot of people like Rob Zombie, and second of all, if it's heavier, if it's like a really aggressive Rob Zombie, I can see completely why they got turned off immediately by this band. Rob Zombie in his own is kind of a distinct taste, but when you like bring that 10 times tougher and more aggressive and kind of like really shoved down your throat, it's just a lot. It's like someone who really doesn't like trying new foods tries like an exotic food like sushi. Sushi's kind of exotic, you know? but then you make them try, like, I don't know, caviar, or, yeah, something, or like live octopus, you just kind of, they're gonna be like, dude, no, please stop. I don't even like eating french fries with ketchup. Why the hell would you serve me live squid? So, that's kind of how you probably look at it. Yeah. Alright, so the next thing I'm talking about is my favorite song. From looking at all of the songs off of this album, my favorite songs were definitely Death March and Wasp. Death March was a great first impression for me. I think it really solidified what exactly I was in store for when I was introduced to the album. And Wasp was such a great turn of events for me, because throughout the whole album it was very metalcore and, like, you know, like I was saying earlier in the video, such a aggressive Rob Zombie that when he finally got to Wasp and it like toned down completely. And that's probably the best song that I would probably recommend to someone who was really into 9 Inch Nails and was kind of like, what's a good song that would kind of, you know, solidify what you said earlier in the video about bands that were similar. And Wasp is definitely the greatest song for that. It's a really calm song, and it definitely kind of, you know, kind of wraps things up as far as I'm concerned with the album. So yeah. Alright, so the last thing I'm talking about is the singing and screaming styles. As far as singing and screaming goes, it's really heavy screams. So, like, if you're sensitive to loud noises, or, you know, you're not really into screamo or any kind of screaming in music, you're definitely not gonna like this, because it's really heavy screaming, like death metal screaming, hardcore screaming, like, you name it, it's that type of screaming. And, so yeah, as far as singing goes, you know, the singing is kind of, like, it's not bad, it's very soothing, but it's not, like, rangy or anything. It's not like vibrato or, you know, a cappella or, like, choir music. It's just really soothing singing. That's the best way to put it. So yeah. Alright guys, so if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any other suggestions for movies, music, games like, leave in the comment section. I'll be sure to check them out. And to rate this album, probably give it like a 3. You know, like an average 3. You know, it's not terrible. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, so that's why I kind of boosted it up. But it could have been just a 2.5 based on the fact that I don't think I'm gonna listen to them that often. But because it really surprised me and I was kind of impressed and actually might listen to Wasp more often. Wasp is pretty good. It boosted up to a 3. So yeah. If you're into OTEP, oh, my phone's going off. If you're into OTEP, no Bring Horizon, maybe. Motionless and White. Oh my god, just mention that. If you're into OTEP, freaking Rob Zombie, you're into, I don't want to thinking it's Chiodos. You might be into them too. You would definitely like this band. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Peace.